When it comes to creating monthly income from savings, the stakes for many retirees couldn't be higher. This is the time when retirees must ask themselves some critical questions. How much of my savings can I safely spend each month? How much investment risk should I take on? And what types of investments are best for my savings? Each of these questions is impacted by another very important question. What kind of investor am I? The answer will inform any strategy that you may use to create retirement income. Research from the nonprofit Retirement Income Industry Association reveals 3 broad classifications of investors in retirement. They are overfunded investors, underfunded investors, and constrained investors. What defines these categories is the relationship between the amount of yearly income the retiree wants to generate compared to the amount of savings the retiree has accumulated. We call this the income to assets ratio. Overfunded investors have a surplus of assets compared to the income they need. They're a lucky minority. Overfunded investors have an income to assets ratio of 3.5% or less. Underfunded investors have typically accumulated little in savings. They will rely primarily on Social Security. Underfunded investors have a ratio of over 7%. Sandwiched in between are millions of constrained investors, retirees who should have a thoughtful and consistent approach to creating retirement income. Constrained investors have a ratio between 3.51% and 7%. Consider Jim. He's entering retirement with a nest egg of $500,000. Jim's goal is to have his savings produce a monthly income of $2,000. On an annual basis, that's $24,000. To determine what type of investor Jim is, we'll divide Jim's desired annual income, $24,000, by his savings amount of $500,000. $24,000 divided by $500,000 equals 0.048 or 4.8%. Jim's income to assets ratio of 4.8% places him in the constrained investor category. But what does that really mean? In a word, caution. Constrained investors' big challenge is to make their savings work as hard as possible while lasting as long as possible. In terms of making investing mistakes, constrained investors have little margin for error. They benefit from disciplined investing and remaining invested through all market conditions. This is important because it tends to help in meeting long-term financial goals. Constrained investors may feel more confident in retirement when their income strategy identifies specific objectives. Constrained investors tend to benefit from an investment strategy that blends both less risky and more risky investment choices. Finally, constrained investors may enjoy an advantage when they obtain a formal, written plan that describes their strategy for creating monthly income. If this sounds complicated, well, to an extent it is. However, it's also practical when you have a financial advisor by your side who specializes in retirement income planning. If you are entering retirement or are already retired, know what type of investor you are. Seek out the assistance of a financial advisor and ask for a formal plan. The financial stakes in retirement are simply too high for a go-it-alone approach.